A single prisoner altered the fate of hundreds, but he paid a high price for it. Now it is I who brings him back from there. He is weak and has forgotten much, but he is alive. When the God of Darkness sends his henchmen out to search, holy places have awakened, and their wrath makes the earth tremble.
Surrender while you can. There is no escape for you.
The ornament has been put back together.
It's too late for you anyway. Raven is opening the temple right now. Ha ha ha! Die, bastard!
Succeeded.
Folks always make big fence and home camp for war. Fence good for war.
Who are you?
My name is Pandador, and you would be well advised if you crawl back under the rock from whence you came.
I order you to answer my questions.
Ask away then. Your knowledge will not help you. I simply cannot believe that there are truly still people who will forfeit their lives merely to see a dragon in the flesh. Yet another presumptuous mite who dared to climb my rock. You little humans, so brave and yet so fragile.
Kraknar! Master say you paladin now. Master right. Master always right.
Okay, just try it.
Ooh, I can't wait.
He should have known better. That's totally obvious. Same old thing.
Well, I'm ready. I'll see you at the ship.
Stay, human. All of my senses tell me that the murderer of my own flesh and blood stands before me.
Kadar. Open.
So now you've managed to find me. I've waited all too long for your arrival.
And the humans slew the beast, and it entered into Beliar's realm.
Zardos! What exactly happened in the Temple of Irdarath?
He thinks it's as easy as that.
Nothing's ever gonna change that.
I couldn't care less.
Nobody ever asks me.
Do you really believe that?
Here, I bring you Tengron's ring. It's supposed to protect you. Tengron says he'll come and get it once he's back.
What? Do you know what ring that is? He got that ring as an award for his courage in battle. You say he wants to get it back? If it's the will of Immerse, he is going to. If it's the will of Immerse.
Hey! Hey!
I have my own opinion about that. It can't go on like this forever.
I'd have done it differently. That's the first I've heard of it.
Somebody wants to know.
I wouldn't have done that.
I talked to Fayeth.
What has he got to tell me?
His people have mined 2 chests of ore.
That's totally obvious.
2 chests? I don't need 2 chests. I need 200!
He wants me to tell you that he needs more men.
What? I'm supposed to send even more men to certain death? He can forget it!
About Silvestro's mining site.
Did you go see him? Did you talk to him?
Everyone's dead there. They were surprised by mine crawlers.
What about the ore? Do you know how much they've mined?
They managed to secure a few chests first. They're in a cave, along the path from the castle to the mining site.
Damn!
He really
Those were a lot of good men. May Immerse have mercy on their souls. Damn! What's going on out there? Has Beliar himself come to wipe us out? My men are almost all dead, and with the bit of ore we have, we can't even stop one orc, let alone an army! This expedition is doomed to failure.
Go on like this forever.
What about the letter for Lord Hagen?
We have 10 crates of ore on the hull, and we've lost twice as many good men. You shall have your letter. Lord Hagen must hear of this. This valley is cursed. Evil abides here.
Do you really think?
Path of virtue is long, rough.
It's better to watch out who you tell what.
I used to say that myself.
I wouldn't have done that.
He thinks it's as easy as that.
He should have known better.
Somebody wants to know.
Sorry for the poor.
Only Immerse decides what's right or wrong.
As if I didn't have enough problems.
The path of virtue is long and rocky.
It's better to... Who told you that?
That's no secret.
No one.
Hey! What about the 2 dead knights in front of your hideout?
They met their doom during a fight with a group of snappers. Well, the Valley of Mines has its own rules. I told them so, but they wouldn't listen to me.
Come with me.
All right. One less monster around.
Nothing to be had there.
One less monster around.
Nothing to be had there.
There's something eerie about this old tomb. Let's rather walk around it. One less monster around. One less monster around. Well done! One dirty...
Nothing there. Nothing to plunder.
One less monster around.
Here, take the healing potion. Here, take the healing potion. Here, take the healing potion. Here.
One less monster around.
Nothing to plunder. Hey, you...
Wait! Right, here we are. I shall go the rest of the way by myself. I have a few things to take care of before I can return to Corinus. Thank you, my friend. I'll see you in town.
Surrender while you can. There is no escape for you.
Hey, you're finally back. You have to go see Zardus right away. There's a problem.
That I certainly believe.
All hell's broken loose since you left. Talk to Zardus. He's waiting for you. Zardus gave me this rune for you. It'll help you get to him faster. We'll meet again there.
Hey, you! I'm back from the Valley of Mines.
High time, too. What did you see?
You were right. The land's been overrun by an entire army of the enemy. Orcs are besieging the castle, and dragons have laid whole areas to waste. It won't be long before they attack Corinus, if I'm not mistaken. Lester said you wanted to see me at once. What the hell has happened here in the meantime?
The enemy has learned who you really are, and that you're planning to get hold of the Eye of Enos. He has recognized the threat. It has forced him to leave his cover and openly attack. The game of hide and seek is over. Yesterday, nobody knew what the enemy's attack would look like. Now it has become only too obvious.
I was attacked by magicians in black robes.
The enemy has many faces. The Seekers are one of them. They're really the ones who prepare the ground for the enemy. They have taken up their positions in strategic places and are now only waiting for an opportunity to spring the trap. Stay out of their way. They are very powerful magical beings, and they will try to deter you at any cost.
I finally got the proof that Lord Hagen demanded of me.
What proof is that?
I received a letter from Garand, the commander of the Paladins in the Valley of Mines. In it, he asks for reinforcements.
That should be enough to convince that militant warhorse. Well done.
What will be the next step now?
Go and bring Lord Hagen the letter from Garand, so that he may grant you access to the Eye of Enos. Then go to the monastery and talk to Pyrokar. He must give you the eye. Nothing is more important than getting this artifact away to safety. Go now before it's too late. The enemy will also try to lay his hands on it.
Nothing there.
There he is. There he is.
Huh. Move along.
That was quite obvious. Nobody will learn anything from me.
Good thing you're here. You need to help me.
Is it really true?
I'm in enough trouble as it is.
What is this about?
A lot of things have changed since I left here. I have to get back on my feet somehow.
What's the problem?
I have to get into the upper quarter, but I'm not a citizen of the town, and I don't have enough money to bribe the guards. That's where you come in.
So you want me to lend you some gold?
Nonsense. I've got some gold. A whole lot of gold, even. Unfortunately, I don't have it with me. You need to go fetch my gold for me.
Nothing surprises me anymore.
I already thought as much.
Okay, I'll help you.
Well, listen. Back when the barrier was still in place, I hid a small treasure. It's been quite a while. That's why I forgot to take it with me. And I can't leave here at all at the moment. To cut a long story short, you must go to the Valley of Mines for me and fetch my gold.
You didn't get that from me.
Is it really true?
Where's the gold hidden?
Directly at the trading square. Above the abandoned mine. It's in a leather satchel. Spare yourself that comment. I know myself that we must have walked right past it. Just bring me the bag. But don't forget to check that it's the right one, so you don't walk all that way for nothing.
How can I recognize it?
It's full of gold. A whole lot of gold.
I don't know what to believe anymore.
That doesn't surprise me.
It can't go on like this.
What are you planning to do with the gold?
I still have an account to settle with one of the merchants in the upper quarter. I need to take care of that. And then I'll be all set for a new career.
You hardly know who to believe these days.
Where did you get all that gold?
Am I the only one, then, who put some gold aside for himself in the Valley of Mines? Filching a few nuggets was a piece of cake, just in case we ever got out of there. Everybody was so keen on that ore that no one even cared for gold at the time.
I'll try to find your gold.
Just do it. That's enough for me.
It's the first I've heard of it.
How's business?
Lousy. Somebody should have told me that Corinus has gone to the dogs in the meantime.
That's no news. I've only known the city like this.
You should have seen it a few years ago. You would have liked it then.
That's all just gossip.
I've got my own opinion about that.
You listen to the wrong people.
It can't go on like this forever.
Now that's typical, isn't it? But that's terrible. Don't tell this to anyone. He simply talks too much. That's an open secret.
And Enos, in his wisdom,
He'd better shut up. But that's terrible. If I hadn't seen it with my...
But the light was a torment for Beliar. All that Enos created was destroyed by Beliar. In order to reconcile their dispute, and he did not succeed. There, where Adanos stood, was a place in which Enos and Beliar had no power. And in this place, order and chaos were equal, and so the sea was created. and the sea released the land, and there arose all creatures, trees as well as animals, wolves as well as sheep, and last of all arose the humans. And Adanos was pleased with what had arisen. He delighted in all beings equal. But so great was the wrath of Beliar that he came across the land and chose the beast. And Beliar spoke to it, and the beast became his subject. And Beliar gave unto it a portion.
What are you doing here?
I make sure that nobody enters the houses. Explicit order from Lord Hagen, and don't even think about violating this order.
How are things?
At the moment, everything is quiet.
And Beliar spoke to another creature, but Adanos brought forth the tide, and the creature was ready.
He knew that all along.
Hey, you! Show me your wares.
Just like you said.
I couldn't get away with that.
But the human and the beast waged war.
Is it really true?
Nobody wants to know.
Hey! I bring you news from Garand. Here, he gave me this message for you.
Our situation is worse than I had feared, but report to me on the situation in the Valley of Mines.
The Paladins are holed up in the castle in the Valley of Mines, surrounded by orcs. There were many casualties in the prospecting operations, and there's barely any ore left. Well, I should say that without any help, the lads are lost. That's how it looks.
I shall find a way to rescue this expedition. You have done much for us. Immerse will thank you.
I'm not all that interested in his gratitude. I want his eye.
Yes, of course, I stand by my word. Take this letter. It will open the monastery gates to you. Speak with Pyrokar, the highest fire magician, and show him this authorization. He will grant you access to the Eye of Immerse. One more thing before you go. Take this rune as a token of my gratitude. It will take you safely back to the city whenever you want. I must find a way to rescue. We must do something. Perhaps the Eye of Immerse can save.
I want
to be a...
The situation in the Valley of Mines is quite worrying, but we should develop plans to get rid of the dangers and get our boys out of there along with the ore.
It's really not my problem.
That will never change.
I've heard a thing or two.
Nothing surprises me anymore.
I've heard a thing or two.
Nothing surprises me anymore.
How are things in town?
There's nothing new so far. Drop in again later.
I never knew that.
Show me your wares.
As much.
Nothing surprises me anymore.
I'm not touching that.
You hardly know who to believe these days.
didn't get that from me.
It's really not my problem.
I wouldn't be so sure.
But no, he insisted he knew better.
I wouldn't be so sure.
That doesn't surprise me.
That's the first I've heard of it.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
I've got my own opinion about that.
I'm no better off myself.
I've heard a thing or two.
You listen to the wrong people.
Nobody ever asked for my opinion.
That doesn't surprise me.
You mustn't believe everything you hear.
I agree with you completely.
I've heard a thing or two.
That's all just gossip.
Nobody ever asked for my opinion.
I never knew.
Nobody ever asked for my opinion.
Will it ever change?
I already thought as much.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
Don't say you didn't know that.
And the sea released the land.
How's it going?
Everything is going to the dogs here. Wherever you look, there's crime and violence. Just imagine, they even murdered one of the paladins.
What have you heard?
Only what they're telling each other in the street. I've heard that they already caught the murderer, but I can't tell you if that is true.
It'll be all right.
You're trying to cheer me up. That's nice.
That's war for you. These things happen.
Yes, there's this horrible war on top of it all. Everybody suffers and wonders how they're going to manage. Sometimes I ask myself what we have done to deserve such punishment from Immerse.
Enos held what Beliar had done.
There you are again.
I want to...
Good. Fine. And here's your pay.
Has anything exciting happened lately?
Oh, they say there were dragons in the Valley of Mines. I'm curious to see when the paladins will set out from here to fight them.
Go away. Don't tell me that. He'd better shut up. He simply talks too much.
Hey!
That was obvious all along.
Any news?
You could say so. The Paladins have arrested Bennett, our smith.
How did that happen?
Bennett went to town to buy supplies. Well, he never came back. If you want to learn more, you should ask Hodges. He was in the city with Bennett.
Any news of Bennett?
They seem to have taken him to the barracks and tossed him into the dungeon.
How can we get him out of there?
I don't have any ideas so far. I can't get to his cell to talk to him. All I can do is keep my ears open, but there isn't much to learn around here.
There's nothing you can do about it. Let's wait and see what happens.
What do you think? Do you want to go up against me again? I think I've gotten better in the meantime.
I want to fight against you.
I only fight from noon until evening. The fighting is only worth it if there are enough spectators who place bets. It's still too early. Come back later.
Hey! Have you got a better weapon for me?
Good thing you asked. We got a few pretty good blades from Onar's mercenaries. They had no further use for them. Here, take it.
Hey, you! What about Bennett, the blacksmith?
You mean the mercenary? He is sitting in jail where he belongs.
Can I talk to him?
Certainly. Just go in. But if you try to help him escape, you will be in for it.
How's...
Everything is under carry out.
Hey, you're the guy who filed a complaint against Canthar, the merchant. Lots of people came here to vouch for him. Well-respected people. The matter must have been a misunderstanding. Yeah, these things happen. In future, you should be more careful about who you send to jail.
How do you...
Leave me alone.
How come you're in the slammer?
Those swine have thrown me in the hole. I'm supposed to have murdered a paladin. But I didn't do it. They're only trying to frame me.
Why would they do that?
How would I know? You've got to get me out of here. Talk to Lord Hagen. Tear down the wall. Who cares? Just do something.
What happened?
I went downtown with Hodges to buy some supplies for our boys. Suddenly, we heard a loud scream and the sound of running feet.
Get to the point.
We knew at once that something had happened and that they would grab us at once if they saw us there. We ran like hell, then just before we got to the city gate, I tripped and sprained my ankle. The rest is soon told. The militia was on me at once and they threw me straight into this hole.
Who was murdered?
I have no idea. One of the paladins. I don't know them.
Have you got a name?
Some Lothar, I think. Well, I don't know. I'm not really sure. You had better ask Lord Hagen. He knows all the details.
Do they have any evidence against you?
They say they have a witness who recognized me.
Well, do you know who the witness is?
No, all I know is that he's lying.
Who's leading the investigation?
Lord Hagen himself. Since the victim was one of the paladins, this falls under martial law.
What does that mean?
That's easy to guess. If I don't get out of here, they're going to let me swing without further ado. You've got to help me or there'll be a war. Lee's not going to take this lying down. You can figure out for yourself what that means.
Hear ye, inhabitants of Corinus. By the explicit order of the Honorable Lord Hagen, the following decree is hereby... Mercenary Smith Bennett, who treacherously murdered the paladin Lothar, has been condemned in the name of hanging. The execution will take place in a few days.
Hey! Well, take me to the monastery.
Forget it. Do you know how many creatures I had to evade on the way? When I think of all those bloodflies, wolves, and goblins, I'm glad that I don't have to leave here anymore. Besides, you can't enter the monastery anyway.
But why not?
Entrance is only permitted to magicians, paladins, and novices.
Can you make me a prophecy?
Yes. Time has progressed, and I shall give you a prophecy in return for a few coins.
How much?
For a paltry 250 coins. I shall risk a glance through time for you.
Tell me about the future.
All right, son of knowledge. I shall now enter a state of trance. Are you ready? You shall force what is nobody's destiny but yours through fire and snow, through ice and flames, men in foreign armor, a swamp, lizards, they await you. That's all. There's nothing more I can see.
Hear ye, inhabitants of Corinus. By the explicit order of the Honorable Lord Hagen, the following decree is hereby enacted.
Who's staying here at the moment?
Almost. Don't.
Murdered the paladin Lothar has been condemned.
How's it going?
You don't look like you care about other people's worries in the least.
The execution will take place in a few days.
Yeah, sure I do.
What do you know? The world is full of surprises. I cleared out some of my stuff recently and sold a stack of old maps to Brahim, the cartographer down by the harbor. Unfortunately, I noticed that I'm missing a document. I assume it must have slipped in among the papers. Could you perhaps get it back for me?
I'll see what I can do.
You're so sweet. I wish you much luck. If you bring back the paper to me, I'll give you a reward.
That's what I've always said. Go away, don't tell me that. Honestly, and it's gonna get even worse. I won't tell her a thing from now on.
The sentence is death by hanging. The execution will take place in a few days.
That's what I've always said. And he works all day too. Everybody knows by now. Everybody knows by now. That's not what I heard.
Show me your wares.
They never should have let it get so far. Now one of the mercenaries has actually murdered a paladin. Something had to happen one of these days.
Who says things like that?
It works all day too. But that's terrible. Don't tell this to anyone.
I don't believe that.
And he works all day too.
Oh,
But it's gonna get even
here you
worse.
are again.
Why aren't you in jail?
I have been released. As I already told you, I am an influential man in the city. Now word is out among the merchants that you are a convict. A regrettable affair. Now you won't be able to get even a piece of bread here in the marketplace. I could, of course, sort things out for you. Shall we say 500 gold pieces?
That's typical, isn't it? Who says things like that?
Don't tell this to anyone. I won't tell her a thing from now on.
You're a convict from the mining colony. I won't sell.
I won't tell her a thing from now. Honestly, I witnessed it.
Beat it!
Really, how interesting. Honestly, I witnessed it myself. Don't tell this.
Have you come to...
Go away. Don't tell me that.
How much was that again?
500 gold pieces.
All right, I'll pay up. You leave me no choice.
Good. Then I shall see to it that your reputation with the merchants rises once again.
That's an open secret.
Show me. Take your pick.
That's not what my husband does. I won't tell her a thing. He simply talks too much. He can't keep anything to himself. Everybody knows by now. Honestly, I witnessed it myself. These are bad times. You don't say. These are bad times. He can't keep anything to himself. He simply talks too much. Now that's typical, isn't it? That's what I've always said. I don't believe that. But that's terrible. That's not what my husband thinks. I won't tell her a thing. Don't tell this to anyone. And it's going to get worse. I can't take care of everything for everybody. That's terrible. He simply talks too much. Really, how interesting. Honestly, I witnessed it myself. I won't tell her a thing from now. That's not what I heard. And it's going to get even worse. And he works all day too. Someone's gonna do the work. Really? How interesting. But that's terrible. He simply talks too much. Go away. Don't tell me that. I can't take care of everything for everyone. That's what I've always said. I won't tell her a thing from now on. That's what I've always said. That's not what my husband thinks. I can't take care of everything for everybody.
I've got to go.
Suit yourself.
He simply talks too much. He had better shut up. Everybody knows by now. And it's gonna get even worse. And he works all day too. Go away. Don't tell me that. I don't believe that. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes.
Show me.
I knew this piece would interest you.
What piece would that be?
Well, that old map you just bought. I know your kind. You go for any chance of finding riches.
Why don't you keep it for yourself?
I'm an old man, and the times when I set out myself are long past. I leave that to younger people.
What kind of a map is it?
It seems to be a treasure map or the like, but you look to me like one who'll get to the heart of this matter himself.
Where did you get this map?
Oh, I found that in a stack of old maps which I bought recently. The seller must have overlooked it. Come back again later. I'm sure to have something new for you then.
That's all just gossip.
I want to fight against you.
Do you have 50 gold pieces?
Here you are.
We have a new challenger. The bets are placed. Are you ready?
Come here.
Then let's see what you can do.
And now?
Hit
Finish
him! Show him! Show him!
What
Show
you waiting
him!
for?
Show him! Ah! Not bad.
Hear ye, inhabitants of Corinus. By the explicit order of the Honorable Lord Hagen, the following decree is hereby enacted.
You packed quite a punch. Here's your 100 gold pieces. You've earned them.
Has been condemned in the name of Immerse. The sentence is death by hanging. The execution will take place.
You don't say.
Did you mean this document?
Yes, that's exactly it. Thank you.
What's my reward?
Not so fast. Here's your money.
Hear ye, inhabitants of Corinus. By the explicit order of the Honorable Lord Hagen, the following decree is hereby enacted. The mercenary Smith Bennett, who treacherously murdered the paladin Lothar, has been condemned in the name of Immerse.
I haven't seen it with my own eyes.
He'd better shut up.
Show me your wares.
He can't keep anything to himself.
I don't believe that.
Don't tell this to anyone. That's an open secret.
But so great was the wrath of Beliar that he came across the land.
I was at your hut in the Valley of
the
Mines.
beast.
So it's still standing?
Yes, and I also know what you wanted there.
Did you find it?
If you mean your pouch with the lumps of ore. Yes, I have it.
You're a fox. You know that.
What else could you have wanted in that old shack? There isn't anything else.
Do you have it with you? I'll give you 100 gold coins for it.
Enos beheld what Beliar had done, and he
Sure.
also bestrode
Terrific.
the land and chose the human. And Enos
Why did you
spoke
leave
to
it
him,
there in the first
and the
place?
human
I had no
became
idea
his
that ore
subject.
was so valuable here in
And
Corinus.
Enos
For
gave
one
unto
measly
him
piece
a
of ore,
portion of
you
his
couldn't get so much
divine
as a place
power,
to sleep
so
back
that
in the
he
penal colony,
might
in the harbor
undo
city.
the work of
They'll practically
Beliar.
bash your skull in if they find out you have ore on you.
And Beliar spoke to another
I hope
creature.
that I'll get it back soon.
And Adanos brought forth the tide, and the creature was washed from the face of the earth.
Give me 100 gold coins, and I'll give you your ore back.
Deal. Here
But
you
with
go.
it, the trees
You're a real
and
friend.
animals
Thanks
were
a lot.
also washed away, and a deep sadness overcame Adanos. And thus spake Adanos to his brothers, never again.
Hey, you! I've delivered your message.
Accept my thanks. And now, pick your reward.
You listened to the wrong people.
But he knew that all along.
Nothing amazes me anymore.
Hey, you! I need to talk to you about Bennett.
But that's the mercenary who murdered one of my men.
I believe that Bennett is innocent.
The evidence is clear. He is guilty.
So what if the proof is wrong?
Be careful what you say. You raise some serious accusations. If you cannot present me with evidence that the witness lied, then you had best hold your tongue.
How come you're so sure that Bennett is the killer?
We have a witness. As you can see, there is no doubt about the mercenary's guilt.
Who is that witness?
Cornelius, the governor's secretary, saw the murder. His description fits Bennett, no doubt about that. As far as I am concerned, that settles the matter. The mercenary will hang for treason.
You saw the murder of Lothar, didn't you?
I need not answer any questions about a current investigation. Lord Hagen already has everything I know on record.
What was it you saw?
Really, I haven't got any time now. You need to go now. The office is closing.
Tell me that isn't true. You hardly know who to believe these days.
Adonos saw that order and chaos were now unequal, and he bade Enos to take his divine power from... destroyed by Beliar. This way, nothing could exist at all. No light and no darkness. And so he set himself between his brothers in order to reconcile their dispute. And he did not succeed. And the sea released the land.
No one really wants to hear that.
I'm not touching that.
I've heard you were with the Paladins in the Valley of Mines. I'm impressed. You should take your time and browse my goods. Right now, I have a very special potion to offer.
Show me your wares.
Been there, done that.
To believe everything you hear.
I'm not telling you anything new.
He can't keep anything to himself. That's an open secret.
Show me your wares.
became his subject. And Enos... But the human and the beast waged war upon the land of Adonis, and the wrath of the gods was with them.
There's nothing you can do about it.
I wouldn't be so sure.
I found your gold.
Great. Show me. Very good.
Did you pick that?
Gerbrant had better watch out now. Listen, I still need to take care of the guards. I want you to take this letter to Gerbrant. He is one of the fat merchants in the upper quarter. Give him my regards. I'll meet you in front of Gerbrant's house then.
But no, he insisted he knew better.
I don't believe this is gonna change.
He never knew that.
He didn't get that from me.
It doesn't surprise me.
He wants to know.
Hey, you! Anything new?
I've seen the likes of you. You simply don't know your place. I shall have a talk with the governor concerning appropriate safety measures for the upper end of town.
Diego says hello.
What? Who? What Diego?
And he wants me to give you this letter.
That can't be. No. I'm a goner. Is he in town then?
Who?
Diego, of course.
Yes, I'm gonna meet him here shortly.
Oh, this is the end then. All is lost. I've got no time. I need to get out of here. Quick! If he finds me here, I'm done for.
I delivered the letter.
Very good. How did Gerbrant take it?
He was rather shocked and made himself scarce right away.
I should think so. I'm afraid that, first of all, I need to attend to furnishing my new house. If I remember correctly, Gerbrant's taste is horrible.
The house is yours then?
Yes, from cellar to attic, with all the furnishings. Having spent several years in less than befitting quarters, I'm looking forward to sleeping in a soft four-poster bed. And then, for breakfast, I'll have a fine wine and some excellent ham.
You don't miss any chances, do you?
You betcha.
So how did you pull this off?
Did you think that Gerbrant came by his fortune through honest business? Of course, he never got his fingers dirty when it came to really shady deals. He had a helper for that. Of course, I caught on to a lot back then. Gerbrant finally got rid of me. He was probably afraid that I knew too much.
You never told me about that.
You never asked me.
What about Gerbrant?
He has enjoyed the good life for far too long. He was living here in the lap of luxury while I was forcing down meat bug stew. I have no idea where he went from here, but he'll never get a foothold in Corinus again. I'll see to that. If you're looking for him, you should try the Harbor District.
That's all just gossip. I used to say that myself.
That's what I've always said.
But he knew that all along. I agree with you completely.
I never knew that.
There was no big deal.
If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes.
That's not what I heard. He simply talks too much.
It was his decision, wasn't
Who
it?
says things like that?
Anything new?
What is that about? Are you trying to mock me? You and your buddy Diego have wreaked enough havoc already. Leave me alone!
Don't tell me that.
And it's going to get even worse.
That's terrible.
I won't tell her a thing from now on.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
Enough trouble as it is.
The human
That's not what my husband thinks.
We have caught you in our trap, and now we shall destroy you. Now you shall feel the power of the Master. You cannot elude it.
Hey, haven't you done enough damage? I think you should go now.
You're still here?
Obviously. Still miffed?
Never mind, forget about it. Say, have you been to Lobart's farm lately?
Maybe. Why?
Oh, nothing important. I just wanted to talk to Vino again about his still.
Still? What still?
Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that. Vino's always been very particular about his little secret. Whatever. Now I've let it slip out anyway. Back in the woods, Vino set up a secret still. A while ago, he asked me to get him something to grease his portcullis with. It's rained a lot recently and the thing rusted shut on him. Now the winch is stuck. No one can get in anymore. What a mess.
And? Have you got the grease?
Yeah, sure. The best there is. Mole rat fat. Terrible stuff, let me tell you. It's even used to grease ships' cannons.
Sell me the grease.
That won't be cheap, pal. It's damn rare in this part of the country.
How much?
100 gold coins.
It's a deal.
All right, here you go. Oh dear, Vino's gonna kill me.
Is there any other news?
Someone keeps stealing my sheep lately. I haven't been able to sleep properly for nights.
Who could have done that?
I've got a hunch about that. Some really nasty fellows have settled into the caves over in the forest. I find it hard to believe that they're living on berries. I'm almost certain that's where my sheep are disappearing to. My sheep keep disappearing.
Surrender while you can. There is no escape for you.
Hey, you bum. You haven't come about that sheep, have you?
You stole the sheep from Akil the farmer.
So what? What are you gonna do about it?
Give me that sheep or I'll punch you in the eye.
Then look out, boy. All hell's about to break loose.
Come with me. I found the sheep rustlers. You were right. Those fellows in the forest cave did it. They'll never steal sheep from you again.
Thanks. So the militia really does care about us small farmers. Take this as a small token of thanks for the selfless favor you did for me. Very good. Here's a few gold coins. I hope it's enough.
Did any?
No. I hope the sheep stay where they are right.
Now you shall feel the...
No time for things like that.
He doesn't see that.
How's it going with your tavern?
Hopefully these black magicians will move on soon. Otherwise, I can close the tavern.
Don't tell me you didn't
Almost
know
nobody dares to come here anymore.
He thinks it's as easy as that.
Is it really true?
He thinks it's as easy as that.
I'm better off myself. I'm not telling you anything new.
That's the truth. He thinks it's as easy as that. The things I could tell you.
Don't tell.
I'm staying out of it.
If he doesn't see that, I can't help him.
Nobody wants to know.
That's been known a long time.
We have caught you in our trap.
Hey! Bless me.
I bless you in the name. May Immerse.
Nothing to be had there.
Hey, you. Hey, you. Ever been to the monastery?
Maybe. Why?
Are they still taking on people? I wouldn't know where else to turn.
Where do you come from?
I used to be captain of a big whaler, my boy. The sea is my home. My ship, the good old Magdalena, was sunk by pirates a few months ago, and now I'm stranded here. All I ever wanted was to go back to sea. But since I've come here, not one schooner is called at this accursed port. The only ship which is anchored in Corinthus is that blasted war galley of the king, and they don't take on anyone. So what else can I do? There's no work for me in town. I've tried everything.
You'd better get off the road.
Don't worry. I've already noticed that the wilderness out here has become damn dangerous in the last couple of days.
How did you get to the monastery so fast?
What kind of a question is that? I crept through the pass and made my way straight to the monastery. Admittedly, it was never easy avoiding all the monsters making themselves at home on this side of the valley, but ultimately I encountered fewer problems than I expected.
Do you know where the others are?
Gorn seems to have coped with his stay in Garan's dungeon very well. In any case, he wanted to go to Lee and see what was happening on the farm. After the grub they serve in the dungeon, he's probably stuffing his face right now and putting the mercenaries' provisions to a real test. Diego mumbled something about a reckoning. No idea what he meant by that, but I suspect he's in the city. You know him, always there when there's something to be had.
Do you know anything about the hooded figures?
No, but I have a bad feeling about those guys. Be careful if you run into them.
I need to get into the monastery. It's urgent.
I can't let you into the monastery. I'll get in trouble with the High Council. Without the permission of my superiors, I can't let anyone into the monastery.
It's important.
It won't work. Pyrocar would rip my head off.
I need to get into the monastery. It's urgent.
I can't let you into the monastery. I'll get in trouble with the High Council. Without the permission of my superiors, I can't let anyone into the monastery.
I've got a letter from Lord Hagen.
Show me. All right, here's the key to the monastery. Pyrocar is in the church.
To know.
That'll only cause more trouble.
The path of virtue is long and rocky.
It can't go on like this forever.
I do not know why you were allowed to enter the monastery. I am Parlin, and I am responsible for our novices. I do not want you to keep them from their work with stupid questions. Is that clear?
Sure.
I certainly hope so.
Where can I find the cellars?
The entrance to the cellars lies halfway along the colonnade on the right.
The chapel?
The chapel is the room halfway along the left colonnade. That's where the paladins pray to Immerse.
The library?
The library is at the end of the colonnade to the left, directly across from the church.
The church?
Lord Almighty! Has Immerse stricken you blind? Where is the church? Oh my, where could it possibly be?
Have you got anything else for me?
Yes, as a member of the library, you are given the key to the library. There you will find brothers Karas and Highgrass. If you like, you can speak with them there, but leave my novices alone.
Hey, you! How are the sheep?
How do you think they are? They stand around and munch grass. I'd rather know what's happening outside. The magicians seem to be very nervous.
Strangers in black robes roam the countryside.
What do you mean? What sort of strangers?
Nobody knows where they've come from. They wear long black robes and they cover their faces. They seem to be some kind of magician. At least they're capable of magic.
That sounds very disturbing, but I'm sure that the High Council will solve this problem.
There are dragons in the Valley of Mines. They are besieging the royal troops together with the army of orcs.
Dragons? I always thought they only existed in horror stories.
They're there, believe me.
But the King's Paladins will deal with them, won't they?
We'll see. What are you planting here?
We're trying to grow healing plants that Master Neoras can use to brew potions.
So, how's it going?
You are only a guest here in the monastery of Immerse, and therefore you should act accordingly and not disturb me while I am working. Good day.
How's it go?
I thank Innos that I...
What's your job here?
I prepare the paladins for their fight against evil.
But there are only magicians and novices living in the monastery.
That is correct, in contrast to our community which honors the word of Innos. The paladins honor the great deeds of our Lord above all else. We are the representatives of Innos, but the paladins are his warriors, who go into battle in his name and increase his glory.
Is there anything you can teach me?
I am an expert in the magic of ice and the magic of thunder. I can teach you their power. However, I only instruct magicians.
Any news?
The enemy has apparently already entered the city.
What do you mean?
One of the paladins, Lothar, was murdered in the street. In broad daylight. It has gone too far, but I fear that is only the beginning.
Has the murderer been caught?
Fortunately, yes. It was one of the cutthroats from Onar's farm.
Who?
I don't know his name, but there are certainly a few figures among the mercenaries of whom you could expect such a deed.
What's gonna happen now?
A murder, moreover, of a paladin is without doubt one of the worst crimes there is. The murderer will undoubtedly be sentenced to death.
That will never change.
I always act in the name of Innos.
What can I do for you?
Have you got anything interesting for me?
No. That's no secret.
I have heard of you. You are the fellow from the farms who was in the Valley of Mines. My respects. May Innos...
Could have told you that before.
That will never change.
Anything's possible.
You really should have known better.
See, that wasn't so hard.
You already know what I think.
That was no big deal.
I always act in the name of Innos.
It was his decision.
It's possible.
That isn't true.
What are you doing here?
That'll only cause more trouble.
What exactly is your job?
It is my responsibility to train mages in the art of spherical manifestation.
What does that mean?
Well, I teach them how to summon creatures or beings from other states or spheres. This is usually called summoning, although this expression alone is insufficient for the art of calling a servant. Furthermore, I own some interesting spell scrolls which Gorax does not have.
How are your studies coming along?
The enemy has many faces. Which of them...
Show me your wares.
As if I don't have enough problems.
I used to say that myself.
I am Master Highglass, Guardian of the Fire and Keeper of the Knowledge.
What are you studying, Master?
My research focuses on fire, the power of Enos. It is his gift and at the same time a mighty weapon, and I create runes which contain his power.
Any news?
Yes. Well, you've probably noticed those black-robed figures.
I've met them.
This brings us to the core of the matter. At the moment, we're observing a very rare constellation of stars. To be more exact, the sign of the ox currently stands in direct correlation with the sign of the warrior. I suppose you know what that means.
Well, to be honest...
Yes, I see. Well, I cannot explain the entire background to you now, but it definitely signifies a great change, and I do not like change. Therefore, I want you to get me a book from town. It's called The Divine Power of the Stars. You may have to rummage around for it a bit, but I'm sure you'll find it.
I'll see whether I can find it.
That's good. It frees up my time so I can follow some other trails as well. But don't take too much time. Time, I'm afraid, is what we have the least of.
Found it?
No.
What I said.
Enos deals out fair punishment.
You should have known better.
I couldn't care less.
You can't go on like this forever.
I'm staying out of it.
What are you doing here?
I must not speak with you. It's not looked on with favor if we talk to strangers. Could have told you that before.
That doesn't sound terribly happy.
Well, I mean, everything is just fine, really. Only, I don't want to complain. Why haven't I heard about this before?
Oh, come on, you can tell me.
And you really won't tell the magicians?
Do I look like I would?
All right. I have a problem with one of the novices. He's got a hold over me.
Come on, spit it out then.
Igaraz, that's the novice, found some of my private papers. He threatened to give them to the magicians if I don't do what he says.
Can't go on like this forever. That isn't true.
What kind of documents are those?
That's, nobody's business. It's entirely my affair.
Come on, tell me.
They are, entirely normal documents. Nothing special.
I won't ask any further.
You already know what
I used to say that myself.
Maybe I can help you.
You would do that?
Well, that depends, of course.
Naturally, I'd pay you for that.
How much?
Of course, I don't have much money, but I could give you a spell scroll. I have a healing spell.
Never change.
You have to feel sorry for the
I'll see what I can do.
Honestly, it just has to work. It has to. So, you only need to find out where Igaraz keeps the stuff. Then you swipe it from him, and everything will be just fine.
Relax. You just continue for now. I'll see to the rest. Are you...
It's all right. I don't...
never get this open without the right key.
Can I be of assistance to you?
What's your task here?
My tasks are many and varied. Not only am I the steward, but I am also the treasurer. Moreover, I supervise the wine cellar, and I'm in control of the monastery's food supplies. So, if there's anything you need, you can always come to me and get it. For a modest contribution, that is.
I need a few things. I'll never get this open without the right key. I'll never get this open without the right key.
Nobody ever asks me.
Been there, done that.
You should have known better.
What room is this?
This is where they keep the holy relics of the monastery.
What relics?
Here rests the Hammer of Immerse, along with the Shield of Fire. These are the most important relics of Church of Immerse, outside the capital of the realm.
Tell me about the shield.
The Shield of Fire was borne by Dominique in the battle on the Southern Isles. But the power of the shield is never to be wielded again. Therefore, we have nailed it to the wall.
Tell me about the hammer.
This is the sacred hammer of Immerse. With this hammer, Saint Robar slew the stone sentinel. The Holy Scriptures say that the stone sentinel was invulnerable. He stood in battle like a tower, and the weapons of his enemies were smashed on his skin of stone. With the name of Immerse on his lips, Robar hurled himself at the monster and crushed it with one mighty blow of his hammer.
That'll only cause more trouble.
Tell me about the... This is the sacred hammer of Immerse.
That's just what I said. I always act in the name of Immerse.
You are not permitted to go further. Turn back.
That's just what I said.
No idea. You tell me.
I never would have thought.
There's more, believe me.
You should have known better.
Hey, you!
What? What's wrong? Why are you bothering me? Can't you see I'm in the middle of an extremely complicated experiment?
I didn't mean to disturb you.
You already have. Well, what do you want?
No idea. You tell me.
Can I learn from you?
I pass on my knowledge only to members of our church.
Nobody wants to know.
Could you brew me a potion?
Do you doubt my abilities? I can brew any potion.
Fine.
Not so fast. Naturally, you must bring me the ingredients and pay a small fee for expenses, as well as for the materials.
How much do you ask?
For the brewing itself, I charge 10 gold pieces.
That's no secret.
Brew me a potion of great speed.
All right. Do you have the ingredients and the gold?
Yes, here.
Good, thanks. I shall give you a potion now, then you won't have to wait so long.
I used to say that myself. Only Innos decides what's right or wrong.
I never would have thought.
Hey, you!
There have been all kinds.
Innos deals out fair punishment.
I always act in the name of Innos.
That was no big deal.
Some citizens of Corinus have mysteriously disappeared.
Take your tribute to Gorax at the monastery at once. He will handle it further.
The same is true for the investigation of the unusual earthquakes in the northeastern regions of Corinus. So far, I have not received notice that our intervention would be required. Therefore, we are not going to take any steps in this matter.
Yes, but...
No buts. We shall proceed as we see fit, and I hope even you are going to respect that.
I've come from the old Valley of Mines.
What do you have to report?
The enemy has formed up there with an army of orcs and dragons.
We have already learned that from Milton. But what about the king's shipment of ore?
The mine they are digging for Garand in the valley cannot satisfy the demands of the king.
The days are becoming grayer, and the light of the sun is ever weaker.
I was attacked by men in black robes.
I know. Those are the Seekers, henchmen from the nether realms of Beliar. Beware of them. They will try to take possession of you. Once possessed, you will no longer be yourself. Only here in the monastery could you find help then, so be careful. Here, this rune will bring you directly back to the monastery if you need our help. Remember, we must offer resistance or we shall all be doomed.
I have come to take the Eye of Innos.
I see that you have received an authorization from Lord Hagen himself to bear the Eye of Innos. I am afraid that I have to disappoint you. We have fallen victim to a treacherous plot of the enemy. The Eye of Innos has been violently taken from these sacred walls.
Who did this?
Evil is cunning and usually works in secret. Only rarely do you see it emerge to pursue its evil machinations in broad daylight. But these days, it's a different matter. The enemy now shows himself openly in the street, in every home and every public square. This can only mean that he no longer fears any adversary and is not going to shrink back from anything. One of our most faithful followers, a candidate for the high robe of the Magicians of Fire, has changed his allegiance unexpectedly, and in an alarmingly evil manner. Pedro. The enemy has taken possession of him, thus inflicting a terrible defeat upon us. Pedro has forced his way into our most sacred halls and stolen the eye. I fear that he simply spent too much time by himself, outside of the gates, and thus beyond the protective walls of the monastery, exposed to all lurking dangers.
Where did the thief flee to?
Pedro knocked down some of the other novices who tried to stop him and disappeared into the morning mist. Many novices have gone after him to bring the eye back to its place unharmed. If you want to catch up with them, you need to hurry before Pedro disappears out of your reach.
I think I'm possessed. Can you heal me?
Not without a token of your respect for this monastery, my son. 300 gold coins.
Great. Here's the money.
Here, drink this. May the mercy of Innos be your salvation.
What about a little blessing? I could surely use it.
May Innos stand between you and harm on all the unholy paths you will have to walk.
never would have thought.
Things I can tell you.
Hey, you! How are the sheep?
How do you think they are? They stand around and munch grass. I'd rather know what's happening outside. The magicians seem to be very nervous.
Pedro betrayed us.
I'd heard that, but I didn't know that you were aware of that too. That's why I didn't say anything. Is the enemy stronger than us? I mean, can we defeat him?
We're not dead yet. Do you know where Pedro is?
Do you think I'd be standing around here if I knew where the renegade was hiding? He must pay for his deeds. I hope we manage to get the eye back. You have to help us. Find him and bring back the Eye of Innos.
Hey, you! We need to talk about Babo.
Yes? What's wrong?
You've got something which belongs to Babo.
What might that be?
A few papers. Babo would like them back.
He would, wouldn't he? I can imagine. Unfortunately, I prefer to keep them, which brings us to a bit of a dilemma.
Where have you got the papers?
Well, of course I don't have them on me. I'm afraid I can't help you further.
Where are they?
I have them safely locked up. You will never get the key from me.
What was Babo supposed to do for you?
If I had known the baby would do it in his pants over a few swamp weeds, then I would have seen to it that someone else took care of the monastery garden.
He's supposed to grow swamp weed?
Of course. Since none of that stuff comes out from behind the barrier anymore, the price in the city has tripled. It could have been a good bargain for everyone involved. But Babo didn't want to play along.
How much do you want for the papers?
Actually, they're almost priceless. You very rarely see something like that here. But I have no desire to wager my future against a few gold pieces. 300 gold pieces, and you can do what you like with the papers.
I want to buy those papers.
Look, I can't leave here right now. I'll give you the key to my chest. There's nothing else in there anyway.
That's nothing new.
I've got no time for things like that.
See, that wasn't so hard. See, that wasn't so hard.
His decision, wasn't
it? You should have known better.
I'm staying out of it.
I never would have thought.
There's more, believe me.
I always act in the name of Innos.
That will never change.
That's nothing new.
See, that wasn't so hard.
It was his decision, wasn't it?
Why haven't I heard about this before?
That's no secret.
Anything's possible.
That's no secret.
Anything's possible.
That was no big deal.
So it says in the scriptures.
You don't have to tell me that. It's no secret.
I've got your documents.
Really? Oh, thanks. You've saved me. I don't know how to thank you.
Yeah, just calm down.
Are they really mine? Are you sure? Show me.
I've got no time for things like that. Why haven't I heard about this before?
Here they are.
Yes, they're complete. Did you look at them?
Does that make a difference?
No, just as long as I have them back. Whew. Now I hope I can rest easy again.
That's nothing new. I'm staying out of it.
If you're headed for the monastery, you should talk to Milton. He'll surely be able to help you.
What do you think? Would they let me in there at all?
Perhaps, but the way you look, I can hardly imagine you in a novice's robe.
Enough of that nonsense. Novice's robe, indeed. It's the grub I'm after, or I'll be forced to eat the bark off the trees next.
Have you seen a novice walk past?
Yeah, sure. He went, that way. He jumped into the water off the bridge and swam like a shark was after him.
You'd better get off the road.
Don't worry. I've already noticed that the wilderness out here has become damn dangerous in the last couple of days.
Hey! May in...
Don't tell this to anyone. That's an open secret.
That's all just gossip.
That's the first I've
And Enos, in his wisdom, did so.
Hey, you!
He simply talks
Show me your way.
Everybody knows by now.
He simply talks too much.
Go away, don't tell me that.
Don't tell this to anyone.
Everybody knows by now.
But that's terrible.
Tell this to it.
That was no big deal.
And Enos, in his wisdom, did so.
That's been known a long
But the light was a torment for Belial. All that Enos created was destroyed by Belial.
doesn't surprise me.
Show me your wares.
That's nothing new.
I used to say that myself.
What may Eno stand? What may...
Is there a...
Dismissed. You know what you have to do.
I used to say that myself.
One more thing. Some of the roadside shrines dedicated to Enos have been desecrated by the enemy. They have lost their magical consecration.
I see. And now?
It is up to you to purify these shrines so that the situation does not escalate. Take this holy water and trickle it on the base of the shrine. With the holy words of purification, the shrine will regain its old power. Korax can sell you a map on which our shrines are marked. Now, go and perform your tasks.
No idea. You tell me.
I need a...
Tell me that isn't true.
Why haven't I heard about this before?
There's more, believe me.
That'll only cause more trouble.
See, that wasn't so hard.
Anything's possible.
I've got the book for you.
Very good. Give it here. You may withdraw now. I shall retire and study.
Found it?
Well, I cannot be completely sure, but the current constellation of the stars seem to indicate many dangers.
What kind of dangers?
Well, the structure between the worlds seems to be very weak. It only takes a small portion of the power that would be necessary otherwise to tear a hole in this structure. Demons could use those portals to enter our world without encountering resistance.
You should have known better. Why haven't I heard about this before?
I couldn't care less.
Those are all just rumors.
Master wants your head. No one can save you now.
Nothing to be had there.
We have caught you in our trap.
Immerse, grant me your aid and purify this shrine.
What's going on here?
What do you mean?
You're the second fellow to rush past here like he's been stung by blood flies.
Who was the other guy?
He looked like one of those brainy novices from the monastery back there. You can say what you like, but somehow those guys aren't quite right in the head.
Where did the other one go?
He ran up that way like lightning.
I need to get going.
Hey, no problem.
Nothing to be had there. Nothing there. Immerse, grant me your aid and purify this shrine. Hey, you! Have you seen a novice pass by here?
A lot of peculiar figures passed by here today, including those two jokers up by the stone arch. A while ago, a novice from the Magicians of Fire was with them as well.
What are you doing here?
What's it to you?
I'm looking for a novice.
That's very interesting. We're looking for someone too.
Who would that be?
You. I'm gonna rip you to...
Nothing there. Nothing there.
You have come too late. We have destroyed the Eye of Innos, so that it can never regain its power. We shall now demonstrate the futility of your attempt to challenge the Master.
Hey, you!
The black troll is dead. Nicely done. I never thought those could be killed at all. I won't forget that.
Immerse, grant me your aid and purify this shrine. I have found the Eye of Immerse. It's broken.
But that cannot be. What happened?
Some really nasty customers had it. Anyway, I came too late. They were performing a strange incantation on a crescent-shaped ritual site up in those woods.
Immerse be with us. They have desecrated our circle of the sun. Even in my worst nightmares, I could never have imagined they would possess this kind of power.
What can we do now?
The enemy has become very strong. Still, this ancient artifact meant a powerful threat to him. We must heal the eye and restore its old power. But time works against us. I cannot begin to imagine what is now going to become of us all. Without the protection of the eye, we are helplessly at the mercy of the enemy. Go to Vatras, the water mage in town. In this terrible situation, only he will know what is to be done. Take the eye to him, and hurry!
What is the Circle of the Sun?
Every year, all the magicians and novices of the monastery travel to this place at the time of the solstice to mark the beginning of a new cycle. The place is filled with the immeasurable power of the sun. Never have I entertained the slightest notion that its power could be reversed. And yet, that is what happened. But you only just had your healing potion. Don't come back to me until you really need my help.
He really should have known better.
That's just what I said.
His decision wasn't.
Who told you that?
I couldn't get away with that.
That's totally obvious.
Tell me that isn't true.